Hey everyone, Kyle once again, aka Drowsy Godzilla fan. Welcome back to another movie review. And wondering where this poster is, there. And I'm doing my movie review of Winnie the Pooh from 2011. And well, I actually tried doing this review, but since it was like after I finished I did my review of the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which is classic masterpiece, and I still love it. I wanted to do as I said I wanted to do a review to this because like it's still a continuation, after the original. I did a review of this, but then my internet got cut off, so especially because it was very late, so I'll have to redo it. But anyway, but all decided though I'm doing it right now, so I'm getting into it. So I said I'm doing the Winnie the Pooh from the year 2011. And I guess I got the poster right here, which I absolutely do love. So anyway, all the characters is I like how it doesn't show the title of the film, it just shows our characters. It says when it's gonna hit theaters. And the film was released. In July 15th, 2011, and on the opening weekend, it opened up at number 6 because it got completely overshadowed because it opened on the same weekend as the last Harry Potter film, The Deathly Hallows Part 2. So definitely was it never so this film never stood a chance against Harry Potter, because they said when films that come out this popular, like big franchises like Harry Potter, Twilight, or now the Hunger Games, with films that come out the same weekends as those films come out, they don't stand a chance. So that's what, but Winnie the Pooh, that's what he did. Never stood a chance against Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. So, but despite that though, it was a modest success. It had a $30 million budget and had made over 33 million worldwide. So it was a modest success overall, which I'm glad about. And also it was critically acclaimed. Everybody loved it, and has a 7.3 in IMDb and has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's outstanding. Even though the original The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh had much more higher ratings though, but doesn't matter to me. I'm happy either way. And the film was directed by two guys. So one was Don Hall and one was Stephen J. Anderson. They did a really good job of directing this, and I like how it kept to the traditional animation was, and how whether they're still in the storybook, just like the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh was. The narrator has been narrated by John Cleese, who he's a British actor who's been in a lot of films, and he played Q in a couple of James Bond films. He replaced Kevin Kline's character of Inspector Dreyfuss in the Pink Panther 2. He saw a little appearance in the Day the Earth Stood Still remake, which I didn't care for though. But he's been other films. He's been other films before those, but I just named some that I've seen him in. So, but but I like John Cleese. I think also think that he also helped come up with the story for DreamWorks' The Croods. I think that's what I think he helped come up. I think he helped come up with the story for The Croods, and I like The Croods, But besides that, he was really good as the narrator, and how I like, and it opens up. It does when the film opens up, how it does pretty much the same thing how the original film was, with the narrator showing Christopher Robin's room and all his stuffed animals. But of course, the room has been completely different, and the toys have been stuffed animals are completely different. Make more how they were. Um, tells like the exact same way. Um, and then it opens up to the storybook, and there's introduces our characters. Introduces our characters. And instead of like a lot of people in the original like singing together, this is sang by this woman Zoe Deschanel. Um, she sings a song at the beginning, and then uh she sings a couple of other songs too on the um at the later also in the film, and also at the during the end credits as well. And she was pretty good. I won't lie. She was good. At singing. At the deep in the 100-acre wood. Um. So she was good at singing for the intro and then credits as well. And so it introduces our character. So the narrator is introduces our character to Winnie the Pooh, who's asleep, and I like how John Cleese. I'll just say that John Cleese. I don't want to keep on saying narrator. John Cleese, he's telling Pooh to wake up. Like he starts shaking the book. Trying to wake him up. Like tilts it on its side, then upside down. Tells the kids going Pooh, Pooh. Um. that was pretty funny. So he tells Winnie the Pooh that you have this very important thing to do, and um, he goes to wants to get some honey because his stomach is rumbling. But and also because throughout the entire film, Pooh he hasn't got a chance to get one smidge of honey, and just keeps on rumbling, asking for honey. But until he gets until the very end. So throughout the entire film, he's just always been rumbling, asking for honey still. And so he goes. So when he tries to get honey, he doesn't. He goes sees Eeyore, who acts all depressed as usual, which I always loved Eeyore. He's always funny, and I always loved Eeyore. So his tail is missing. So he wants to wonder where his tail is, and then pops up Owl, which is voiced by this Owl in this film has been voiced by Craig Ferguson. Craig Ferguson, which I did in my previous review, he voiced Gobber in How to Train Your Dragon. So he voices Owl in this, and he sees Pooh in New York, and he's asking where else where his tail is. Asking Pooh asks what we should do, and so he asks Owl for advice, and he tells him, he says the first thing to do is issue a award, and Pooh goes Gesundheit. He goes, I beg your pardon? You sneezed. No, I didn't. So he tries to say it again. He says issue a award, and it's like he's doing it again. You must be catching a cold. He says, no, I'm not. He says, no, I didn't. The word is issue, not at you. He said, then Pooh says, you must be catching a cold, and Eeyore goes, I'll probably catch it too. So he goes to see Christopher Robin, and he tells him the same thing, and Christopher Robin tells him, puts up signs that says a very important thing to do, And then after when he's playing outside, Tigger comes in the picture, pounces on him. And then also throughout the 100-acre wood, this red balloon here, it's been floating around, and he's like attaching himself to Tigger because his fur the static, He says, "Ooh," he's just looking at his reflection through the balloons, like, "Ooh, who's this handsome fella, you know? Handsome, he's very handsome indeed, you know. But I'm Tigger, and I'm the only one, you know." So then everybody's gathered together, you know, for a meeting, and Chris Robin, you know, says we'll have a contest to find a tail for Eeyore, you know. Um, so everyone's trying out different things, you know, to make a suitable tail for Eeyore. Pooh tries first. I give him his cuckoo clock for a tail, but then doesn't work as Eeyore sits on it. And everyone else tries out different things like a yo-yo or an umbrella, um, or a dartboard. They're throwing darts at Eeyore like this, or like or a moose head or an antenna just can't get struck by lightning. And then Kanga gives him like a short red or orange scarf, you know, and thinks, oh, it's a success. And then later that Pooh, you know, he steps onto the pages, you know, so he's standing on the letters, the sentence letters, and he sees a string, and Eeyore's a new tail got unraveled. Um, so he goes to see Christopher Robin again, but he's not there, and there's a note, you know, and I think the note was like it was like smeared or scribbled, you know. So thinking he's been taken by a monster, so he goes to see Owl, you know, and everybody else is there as well, um and of course, you know, they'll always so with the kind of writing they always misinterpret it. So Owl thinks that the note says um it says um what was it? How did it go that it said gone out, busy, back soon, but Owl, he misinterprets it, you know, just because of the poor reading, you know, his poor reading, thinking he knows it. He tells him that it's actually he's been taken by this monster called the Backson, and you know, like how like this they sing a song about describing what the Backson looks like. What does he do? You know, thinking that how it's like and I like how also like how like he draw it's like as they're singing it's like all in this it's in this scene where it's like you know where for the first they use that like as Eeyore's new tail is like a chalkboard, right, and it goes into that scene where they're all chalk drawn, you know, as they're singing about the Backson, you know. I like that, you know. I like how they're like all chalk. They're like pictures of chalk pictures, and they're singing about with the Backson, you know. That's kind of what does a Backson do, you know? Like it's like they muddy up your tidy house. They're rhyming as well. They make you feel as small as a mouse. If they break your crayons, they spill your tea, you know. They wake up babies 9 to 3, you know. Or so as they're still singing, you know, they're gonna go after Rabbit gets the idea, and Rabbit in this film is voiced by Tom Kenny. Tom Kenny, who voices SpongeBob SquarePants, you know, and Tom Kenny he does really good as voices as voicing Rabbit, you know, because I'm always been a fan of Tom Kenny when he voices SpongeBob, of course, and he was good at voicing Rabbit. All the voice cast in this film does a really good job. You know, John Cleese is good as a narrator. Jim Cummings once again, who has always over the years voiced Winnie the Pooh. He was always a perfect voicing for Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, I know that I can't remember the person who originally voiced Winnie the Pooh in The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Forget his name though, but he was also perfect voice for Pooh. You know, and Jim Cummings, he does almost his voice is like almost the exact same voice as what the original person was. You know, and plus also Jim Cummings, he also voices Tigger in this as well, and he does good because he just almost does a voice almost a perfect imitation voice for Tigger, because I know from the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh and the new Adventures TV show, the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It's been voiced by Paul Winchell. May he rest in peace. You know, he's always been a perfect voice of Tigger, and I loved his voice. You know, may he rest in peace. You know, and Jim Cummings, I think he does a really good impression of Tigger, almost the exact same voice. You know. So like I said, and all the rest of the voice actors does really good as well. So anyway, Rabbit gets the idea, so they'll dig a hole and they'll lure with knickknacks that he'll like, you know, he'll lead to and fall into the hole. And as they're leaving the house, they'll say, "We'll be back soon." And Al goes, "Back soon? Sounds like Backson." Oh well. Good luck, you know. So they're getting their plan together. You know, they're getting all different kinds of things. You know, we're placing stuff all over the woods to lure the Backson into this big hole. Where they cover the hole with the tablecloth and put a honey pot on there. You know, so we can fall in. And while all that Pooh's stomach's been rumbling, you know, wanting honey, you know, and so and while all that's going on, Tigger and Eeyore, pardon, Tigger wants to teach Eeyore how to fight, you know. You know, sing a song, "It's gonna be great, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be great," you know. And Eeyore doesn't like the idea, you know, and Tigger makes it like puts it on this disguise himself as the Backson, and you know Eeyore bounces away and he escapes from Tigger, you know, and he hides under the water, you know, as a little tube thing, you know, to make him breathe. And while that, also Pooh takes an opportunity to get some honey from a beehive, you know, makes Piglet, you know, try to jump and grab it, but instead, he jumps on the plank and Piglet gets shoved inside a beehive, you know. But all that fails though, and they're starting to search for the Backson, and Pooh starts imagining, you know, honey everywhere, you know, because in his hug and his hunger for honey is getting the best of him. You know, he starts imagining honey everywhere. You know, people are, and the other guys are saying honey, honey, honey. You know, like I'll honey this and I'll honey a honey. You know, like that. You know. But so after all that, you know, he sees after his imagination is gone, he sees that honey pot that's for the trap though, and he falls in, and he says, "Oh," and thinking the guy is like, "Oh, what are we doing?" And Roo goes, "Send the pig." So when they all see that the Pooh is in there, and they want how they're gonna get him out, and Eeyore walks in, you know, has an anchor attached to himself. That's his new tail, you know. And Rabbit gets the idea they'll use the anchor to pull him out, and as they throw it in, Eeyore gets pulled with them, and everyone else gets pulled in the hole except for Piglet, and 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 there's another funny scene where he tries to get with her. Piglet grabs some stuff, you know, to get him out. He pulls like a flower, you know, and then he gets a book, you know. Then he grabs it. That's not long enough, and Piglet says, "Oh, it is." And Rabbit, Owl read this to me once, and it's the longest thing that I ever heard of. And Pooh is, "It's true, Rabbit. It tends to lag a bit in the middle." But then he gets some rope, and but he can't pull them out at once, so he cuts it all into six strips, and then he's like, "No, now you can all get out." And Rabbit is like, "Tie them together, Piglet. Can you tie a knot?" "I cannot." "I cannot." "Oh, so you cannot." "No, I cannot not." And then Rabbit says, "Not, not." Pooh goes, "Who's there?" "Pooh? Pooh who?" I thought that was a real a funny thing. I would use that like a knock knock joke, And so Piglet decided, I told Piglet to get help, so he goes in the woods, and they always like make the woods scary looking. Then he sees the red balloon stuck in a branch, you know. So as he tries to pull the balloon off, and then Tigger approaches, still wearing the Backson disguise. Piglet yells, "Backson!" And Tigger panics as well, and Piglet is getting pulled up from the balloon, pulling up, and he runs into the sentence letters, and he's like blowing himself away from it because he's on a balloon, he's on the balloon, he's like, and he's pushing down into the hole, but eventually they all fall in, and the balloon floats away, and now they're all stuck down there thinking what to do now. And then Pooh sees, a honey jar that's still up there, so he takes the letters that have fallen off and makes into a ladder. So everyone else gets out, but then they hear something, and Christopher Robin approaches with the hole in the red balloon, and he explains, that the school year has started, so he's attending school, and it says, "Gone out." This says, "Gone out." Was a gone out, busy, and will be back. Be back soon. And they're all looking at Al like this. He goes and flies away. So, but the Bradbury takes the honey pot prize, the honey pot prize, that was given to the red balloon, red balloon, and Pooh was very much disappointment, and so his hunger is still going, and then he goes to Owl's house, and he sees and he sees that there's a bell rope. There's Eeyore's tail. So Owl took Eeyore's tail, used it as a bell rope. When he goes in, he offers asks for some honey, and Owl says, "Please be my guest," but then describes how he found the bell rope was it was about near this thicket this bush. This it was a thicket bush or a thos bush, I forgot how it was. And Pooh asks us where was this bush, and Al says, "Oh, it was rather depressing, and it was something," and Pooh goes, "Gloomy?" Yes, that was. It was gloomy. So Pooh instead of thinking of his stomach for once, he thought of Eeyore. He thought of Eeyore, and he returns his tail back to Eeyore, and he's offered a big reward, a giant pot of honey, as a reward for thinking about Eeyore instead of his stomach, And he's enjoying it. He jumps into the big pot, swimming inside. Everyone's saying, "Ah, yay," And the story ends with Pooh and Christopher Robin walking off, and with Chris Robin saying the classic line always is to Pooh, "Silly old bear." And then that's in the story when they get to the end credits. But if you really enough, as soon as the story ends before the end credits roll up, this film is not a long film at all. It's before the end credits, it's under an hour, So when I watched it, when the film ended, before the credits go, it was like 53 minutes, Yeah, it was like 53, 52 minutes. So this is really a short. This is like really a short film. It's really a short film, So, but with the end credits, it's like an extra 6 minutes, And it also went by very fast, though. But I didn't mind how the pacing was, or the length of film was, because I was enjoying it so much, so it didn't bother me. And then the credits roll, and it shows like as the credits are going, it has that woman Zoe Deschanel, Deschanel singing, so that song so long, what was it yeah, I think it was like So Long, and during the end credits, it like shows how it shows the stuffed animals in Christopher Robin's room. If they use the stuffed animals to simulate the scenes that was in the story. And I thought that how the way that was done, I like how the use of it was done pretty well. Using the stuffed animals to make it like to simulate some of the scenes that was from the movie. I thought that was pretty good as well. And also, so now during the end credits, you see the characters doing stuff, as the credits is rolling up. Um, but when the end credits is done, cuts back into the woods, and there's it turns out that there really is a Backson. There really is a Backson, and but he's much more nicer, nicer and polite than they thought they feared him. And he sees some stuff on the ground. He picks up the chalkboard as a picture of him, but he doesn't know that's him. He's like, "Wow, look at this fella, he's really scary." And he just keeps on finding more, picks up more and more stuff in. And really funny enough, he falls into the hole like their plan, that the original plan was supposed to go. So he falls into the hole and is like, "Wow, this is a really big hole." I hope that fella. Yeah, I hope that fellow will be back soon. Get back soon. Yeah. So yeah, I've always really enjoyed this film because I was looking. It made me when I first saw this in the theaters. It made me feel like when I was a little kid again, just watching the show and the movies. Growing up. When I first saw this in the theater, I saw this film. I saw this film. I saw this film 4 times. Yes, I did. When I saw when I recently saw Mr. Peabody and Sherman, I saw the film 3 times. But because it was so I had a good summer in the year 2011. I saw this film 4 times. So because so this is one of the things I really grew up loving. So why not see it 4 times? Because when I saw this in the theater, it was a wonderful experience seeing it in theaters because it made me feel like a little kid again watching the show growing up. This is why this kind of thing, these characters will always make me always love Disney forever. Just mainly because of Winnie the Pooh. He's one of the reasons that will always make me love Disney forever. I'll never, and as I said, I'll never stop loving Disney. Yeah, there may be a few, like especially some of the live action stuff, that the live action Disney films they do, like John Carter or The Lone Ranger. But I think they're okay films though. I think those are okay films though, but when they do a live action of the classic the animated Disney films, like for example, they have this upcoming summer, like Maleficent, the live action version of Sleeping Beauty, so with something like that, but well, of course, there's never gonna be a live action of this. Pfft, no way. So, I'm just saying though. But I always said this is one of the reasons why I always loved Disney forever. So I'm glad I got the poster. I'm glad I always loved this film. And also, really enough, though, one thing I might have to mention when they're searching for Christopher Robin, it's almost like it's like a different take on from the other movie, Winnie the Pooh, and the search for Christopher Robin, the Great Adventure for Winnie Pooh's Great Adventure, the search for Christopher Robin. That's also like their smaller take on this story, from that movie. They use that story and put it in here, because it's like a Same thing. So they're searching for Chris Robin, who's believed to have been taken by a monster. So yeah, and so I don't know what to say. The voice cast once again. Jim Cummings does once again a great job as Pooh. He also did voicing as Tigger as well. John Cleese, he was really good as the narrator. So I love the songs performed by Zoe Deschanel. I think it worked for the score. It worked for the movie. So yeah, I will say that. I like the scores. I still like the music and score as well. Um, I loved how they kept with the traditional animation and kept up with the story. They're still like with from the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh in the storybook. Um, I'm glad it got critically acclaimed. I'm glad it got all the praise. I'm glad it got higher ratings. Even though despite opening the same weekend as Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, despite being completely overshadowed by that film, the film made money. The film was worthy enough to make money. So yeah, I'm happy it was a success overall. $30 million budget, 33 million worldwide. So I'm happy. So and I'm glad that from the stuff like Roger Ebert. Roger Ebert, famous film critic. I like Roger Ebert. May he rest in peace. I'm glad he gave it he gave it 3 out of 4. I wish, to me personally, I would give it 4 out of 4 though. But 3 out of 4, that's pretty good. So now, he says, he said, in time of shock value 3D animation and special effects, the look of the film is gentle and pleasing. Yes, because that's how Winnie the Pooh should be. It was hand animated, meaning it was all hand drawn before being made. Like how it was back in the day. I love that they still kept to that. I'm told in the backgrounds use a subtle and reassuring watercolor style. It's a nightmare-proof experience for even the youngest viewers. So yeah, so they never made when using some of the scenes not scare stuff that will not scare younger kids. Why wouldn't even though I was a kid, I was never scared. There was no why wouldn't there be these scary stuff in this? It's pleasant. I don't know what to say. Like I said, yeah, I don't know what more I can say. I'm going all over the place. Praising it like I praising it enough. So why shouldn't I? And so yeah, like I said, I don't know what more I can say. So I always still love this film to this day. Made me think of all the stuff that I grew up with, with the other Winnie the Pooh stuff, like the show, the TV show, the New Adventures, or the original film, the Many Adventures, So yeah, I don't know what more to say. And like I said, I'm not ashamed to admit, like I mentioned in my video of my review of the Many Adventures of the Winnie the Pooh, I showed all my collection of all the stuffed dolls of all the characters. Like I said, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed to show them. Because it's one of the things I grew up loving. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm still not ashamed to admit, because I got a big poster right here. I got all the DVDs and the stuffed animals. So like I said, I'm not embarrassed whatsoever. I'm not afraid to admit it. That's all to say. So I love this film still. I'll always love it forever and cherish it forever. So thanks for watching. Take care and stay tuned for the next movie review. Later.